Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's going on, guys? An official Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well. And in today's video, we have an interesting news update here for the Obi Wan Kenobi show. We're very, very close to it, and of course, we're covering it all here on the channel, of course. So it's all the more reason to hit that subscribe button. We're going to go ahead and jump right on into today's video as per usual. We're going to take a read here from the Direct's article. Of course, as always, we're going to have that full article linked down in the description down below. As the head title reads, Obi Wan Kenobi director Deborah Chow compares Disney Plus show Obi Wan Kenobi towards the Joker movie and as well as the spin-off X-Men movie Logan. Taking a read here from what the article has to say here, character studies seem to be quite the trend as of late. Many stories have chosen to flesh out the person on screen, prioritizing it over all the action. Some of the biggest examples in recent years have been DC's Joker and Fox Studios' Logan. Even bigger titles as of today, such as Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight on Disney Plus, have been more engrossed with people on screen instead of the action that these genres are generally going to be known for. Now, on just under 2 days away, in Obi Wan Kenobi, which will see Ian McGregor, of course, return to his iconic role from the prequel trilogy. This time around, Star Wars will be exploring the character of Obi-Wan deeper than ever before. After the events of Revenge of the Sith, the former Jedi Knight is now not the best of all places. In fact, he's heading away in seclusion, watching over a young Luke Skywalker from a distance. Now, at a virtual press conference, the show's director, Deborah Chow, has openly discussed what is it like to bring the iconic character back and what of some of her inspirations, of course, were. During the virtual press conference for Obi-Wan Kenobi, the series director Deborah Chow talked about her approach to working on Obi Wan Kenobi, how she utilized stagecraft technology, and how big films such as Joker influenced this new story. She said the most exciting part of this, of course, was, in quotes, getting the opportunity to do a character-driven story, ending quote right there. In the same vein is something like Joker and Logan, she said. In full quotes, in quotes here from Deborah Chow, I think I was most excited about getting the opportunity to do a character-driven story. You know, in a similar way, you know, obviously it's a different tone, but something like Joker and Logan, where you take one character out of a big franchise and then you really have the time and you go a lot deeper in with these characters. So that to me seemed really exciting to do in Star Wars. Ending quote right there, coming from show's director for Obi Wan Kenobi, Deborah Chow, on what she kind of had to say here for comparing the overall storyline and how we're going to be looking at our characters here, especially Kenobi here, as hence the actual title here of the show here, of what he's going to be doing and how we're going to be kind of like viewing him, I guess, as viewers and audiences here to kind of connect here with the character. Also in the way that they're kind of drawing out this new genre almost, something that's like in between action and like a drama, mostly kind of here, especially with other films such as Moon Knight or Joker and Logan, and now bringing it to Star Wars here with the Obi Wan Kenobi show. I do kind of feel like that we got a little bit of a glimpse with something kind of like this, similar here, similar to the Joker and similar to Logan, how these are character-driven stories that show these characters' emotions and what they're thinking and how they're feeling to the audience and its viewers and its watchers, with the Book of Boba Fett show with some of its episodes, how he's kind of dealing with some of that PTSD of working with the Empire or some of his past jobs of working for the Empire as a bounty hunter, and or of course more or less being with the Tuskens here as well, and kind of some of those traumatic memories that might bring up. Same thing with The Mandalorian Season 2 and Season 1 as well. Now, going on and moving on to what the article also has to say here, sitting between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, the series is starting in a pretty dark place, in a quote described from Deborah Chow, so it's very important for them to, in quotes, try and keep the balance of maintaining the hope coming from the character, and a quote there coming from Deborah Chow, in full quotes here of what she has to say here. Yeah, the tone, obviously we're starting in a pretty dark time period, and that was quite interesting, not only to start with Obi-Wan's character in a dark place, but also starting in a period in the timeline that's quite dark overall with the Star Wars franchise. So it kind of actually gave us a very interesting starting place for the series. But I think with the character of Kenobi, for me, he's always felt like there's so much warmth, there's so much compassion and humor that is kind of the character of light and hope. It was interesting for us to try and keep the balance of that, of the darkness, and also still maintaining the hope coming over from the character. Ending the quote there from Deborah Chow, the show's director for Obi Wan Kenobi. There, of course, are also very many different relationships to help build upon this character-driven story of his emotions and how he's truly feeling, and how to portray that and I guess embrace it towards its viewers and us, the fans, as well. As the article goes on to say, the director took a deep dive into the character, asking yourself, in quotes, what are the relationships that were meaningful to Kenobi, ending quote right there. And one of the key topics to explore was of that character's bond with Hayden Christensen's Anakin Skywalker, something that I just felt was natural to include, she says. Full quotes coming from Deborah Chow herself. I think when we started developing the material, we were really looking at the character of Obi-Wan and going, you know, what was important in his life? What are the relationships that are meaningful? And obviously the history coming out of Revenge of the Sith is so strong and it's so powerful that it really felt like for us that there'd be so much weight coming into the story that was connected to Anakin and Vader. So it just felt natural that it would be Hayden Christensen and that we would continue the relationship in the series. She also says in quotes, I started using the technology of stagecraft on The Mandalorian that they had first seen there, so I was actually incredibly excited to be able to use it for the Obi Wan Kenobi show as well. I think one of the interesting things is for the first season of The Mandalorian, a lot of the tech has advanced so much already, so every passing year there's advances. So by the time we came to Kenobi, you know, there were so many things that we couldn't do with the Mandalorian's first season, but now I'm really excited to be able to design and develop material knowing that I was going to shoot on stagecraft. So a lot of times I'd be looking at a scene even as I was writing it, thinking about how is this going to translate into the volume and how can we take advantage of the tech as best as possible. A little bit of a quote there, of course, ending quote right there, back to back there of Deborah Chow, who's working on The Mandalorian as well there, and is also the director here for the Obi Wan Kenobi show, the full-on showrunner and all of that good stuff, of course. But she, of course, already had worked on previously with The Mandalorian, and it's also going into quotes there of how she's talking about how she's familiar with some of the technology, how they're using this technology, especially in the Star Wars franchise, and bringing it into the overall industry as a whole as well. Now, the article also goes on to say the world is much more different than when Ian McGregor's Obi Wan Kenobi was last seen in Revenge of the Sith. These days, filmmakers have access to the cutting-edge technology that is stagecraft, something the director started using on The Mandalorian. And of course, this is going to make all the more difference, and it's really going to show the different advances in technology. The CGI in the show, especially comparing it to the prequels, not that the prequels technology or anything, or CGI or anything like that looked horrible, or it was unbearing to watch, but it's going to be a huge step up, and I think it's going to look absolutely phenomenal. I think some of the actual action, and then also bringing out some more drama aspects, something that I should also mention that the article mentions that we're not going to read from today's article. However, I'll probably be covering it in future days here on the channel, so it's all the more reason to hit the subscribe button. However, they also mention some of the character-driven qualities of Rogue One and how the characters were feeling drama-wise, and that is something very true, something that I kind of almost like oversaw, and I'm glad that they brought this up because there's a lot of character-driven aspects also with Rogue One, also comparing it to the Joker and Logan film. So if you haven't seen those two films, well, you can also look at Rogue One and kind of get a little bit of an idea of what we're dealing with here when it comes to the Obi Wan Kenobi show and how especially it's going to be translated over here to the Star Wars universe and Star Wars franchise, and it's something that we're probably going to continue to see here moving forward with the franchise as a whole with future shows here. Of course, we're going to have that full article linked down in the description down below, so if you guys want to check out the rest of it, feel free to. Of course, I want to know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I'd absolutely love to hear what you guys all think about having a character-driven type of story here, something similar to Joker or Logan, and how you think it's going to be translated over to Star Wars. I'd absolutely love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Drop a like in the video if you enjoy it, as it was up the channel, and check out our Instagram unofficial Star Wars for more Star Wars content, guys. Thanks so much for watching today's video. As always, been a force to be with you. Catch you in the next one. Have a great day or night. Peace out.